Welcome to St Mary's Church. Built in the 15th century, this is the third church to be built in Beaminster. Here's a floor plan of St Mary's. It's intended to show where items are situated so that you can go to them immediately. Nave. This view of the nave shows the church decorated for an annual festival season, with the choir preparing for an ordinary church service. This is the original Norman font. It was thrown out in the restoration of 1863, but found in a stonemason yard. This 13th century elm-boarded chest is made without joints and held together with wrought iron. This style replaced the earlier dugout chests roughly hewn from a tree trunk. The Strobe Memorials. This is a particularly fine monument to Thomas Strobe, Sergeant at Law, uncle of George, probably by William or Edward Stanton of London. The vault beneath the aisle was last opened in 1956 and found to contain 14 coffins. The large memorial by Peter Scheermakers commemorates George and Catherine Strode of Parnham, surrounded by faith, hope and charity. The St John Gone Memorial Plaque. The brass inscription in the floor, the oldest memorial plaque in the church, marks the tomb of Sir John Gone, possibly Knight of St John, who died in 1497-8 while on a pilgrimage. The upper part of the pulpit is all that remains of the original three-tiered Jacobean oak pulpit built in 1619 by two local men. The lower part is a more recent adaptation to facilitate portability. The Millennium Triptych, made by skilled needlewoman of Beaminster to mark the year 2000, depicting the contemporary local scenes. The squint, or hagioscope. During the days of the Roman liturgy, it was considered important that everyone should see the elevation of the host during the Mass of the high altar. On the right-hand side, you can see the rood loft stairs. The stairs gave access to the rood loft that extended across the central arch. The chantry looking towards the nave, looking east to west. Screen. The English oak screen was installed in 1913. The altar was designed and made by Ronald Emmett. The modern lectern and altar rails were made at the Beaminster School. The votive candle holder was a gift of the community play cast, who performed Crackling Angels by David Cregan in 1987. It was designed at the then Parnham's Furniture School. A sketch of one of the characters from Crackling Angels, drawn by the director, is seen. The votive candle holder was the gift of the community play cast who performed Crackling Angels. Altar rails. The modern lectern and altar rails were made at Beaminster School. Three children exploring after the morning service. The roof supporting corbels. These important features of the church were carved in Bath stone by Burge and Allen, who also carved those for the House of Commons. Here are 10 of the corbels. To see more of them, go to YouTube, Jack Barnett 21, Church Corbels carved by Burge and Allen. Beaminster Academy, Parents and Children's Service. The Hilary Chapel was built by John Hilary in 1505 and may have been a chantry. Chantry was in which a priest was employed to sing masses for the soul of the founder of the chapel. Box pews that once seated the whole congregation were removed to give a more open plan for the church. The pews pictured are the only ones that remain. The organ. Mr. Martin Schellenberg, the church organist, plays the very impressive 3-manual 25-stop instrument. It was dedicated by the Bishop of Salisbury in 2008. The Mort House. Now the kitchen, the Mort House has 13th century foundations. It was intended to house any bones dug up in the churchyard. The vestry. Mr. Tom Cunningham prepares to lead the choir out from the vestry for the morning service. War memorials remember all of those killed in the Second and First World Wars. A new stained glass window has been added above the war memorials for William Rhodes Morehouse, VC. This monument, the Samways Memorial, reflects the high mortality in Beaminster in the 18th century. Henry Samways died in 1706 and 5 of his sons died in childhood. The bell ringer's room. Here is where the bell ringers meet to ring the bells. You will not be able to get up here, unless, of course, you want to ring bells. The belfry shows one of the large bells. On top of the tower, here we see a new crocketed pinnacle with a lightning conductor attached. Repairs to the flagpole. Friends help St Mary's Beaminster in all sorts of ways. If you want to be a friend, then pick up a leaflet in the church. Here Dr Murray Rose and Mr Sam Ayunga repair the flagpole. Here's a view from the nave. Here we see the new altar, candlesticks, lectern in front of the 1913 rood screen, and then the high altar beyond. Behind the high altar is a set of stained glass windows which make up Jesus and his disciples. Judas, with 30 pieces of silver, is seen to the far left. Repairs to a building of this size and age are a constant. Here repairs were done to the window just shown before. Use of the church for concerts. The Fairy Brass Band has had many successful concerts in the church, and here's one of them. Chariton Collection. A view of the collection of clothes from the parish to pass on to the Salvation Army. These go on to distribution to people in need. The west face of a tower. Figured above the west window is a seated Madonna and Child, both crowned and flanked by St John and St Mary. Before a Sunday service, here are the early arrivals for a Sunday service, and you see the chairs that replace the box pews. We're looking east